of video games, screens, and even dangerous card games, yes, even tarot cards, which are linked to the new age, piled high on store shelves for our kids to grab this Christmas season? Me too. Have you been looking for a board game that your whole family can play together while learning great values and truth along the way? Look no further. Derek White is the founder of True Frenemies, a Christian board game that was launched at just the perfect time, right before COVID. True Frenemies is now national as well as global. The concept for True Frenemies came when Derek and his wife Lucy were teaching their kids Sunday morning Bible class. He asked on the way out of the parking lot one beautiful spring Sunday morning in 2018 if they liked the class. His kids said no. Derek asked why not. They said, "You talk too much." The genesis of True Frenemies came from that short conversation. I'm Tina Griffin. This is the Counterculture Mom Show. Thank you for grabbing a turkey leg and that cranberry sauce and checking in as we discuss in detail our theme of the week, Thanksgiving. We have a jam-packed fun episode for you today with Derek White, founder of Mount 21 Productions. Derek, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Tina, for having me on.
Absolutely. So you are the game board guru here. I didn't even know the process of all this. You're going to dissect that for us today.
Well, as you said, it really began, with us teaching our kids Sunday morning Bible class now 4 years ago in spring 2018. And so we were teaching a series, my wife and I, on the decisions that we make. And so we had an upcoming class. The next week was the friends that we make. One of the decisions that we make that's very important is the friends that we have.
Yes.
And so, as you said, we were leaving and the kids said they didn't really like the class. So we needed to come up with something different. So I spent the whole week thinking about, okay, what can we do differently to engage the class? And on Saturday morning before as I was waking up, before the kids woke up, it kind of hit me that why not try a board game? And so it was literally like in the movie Close Encounters, where Richard Dreyfuss basically built a replica of Devil's Tower in his living room, that monument from Wyoming. And I spent the whole day Saturday scrounging materials, poster board, cutting up business cards, finding dice, finding whatever game gems pieces we could.
Wow.
And if you can show it, I'll show the original version of it, which I worked quite hard on, was from that day. So it started off literally as just a piece of poster board and bringing it into class.
How did the kids respond when you first brought that in there? Were they all excited and wanted Sunday school to last an extra hour or two?
Well, they needed it to, because as you know, when you make a game, it never quite goes as you expect. So we had hoped it would be done in an hour. It took us probably 2 or 3 classes to get through it. And so we needed to streamline the game. And we did a ton of play testing afterwards, but we realized that we had something that had some potential. And so you have a picture there of that's at the end process, but there was a lot of work that went on before we got to the finished product. And so my wife, Lucy, basically took that rough board and she made something that was a little bit better, which was a little bit more organized and not just handwritten.
Yep.
And then we brought in a graphic designer and a digital artist who was amazing, Chris Wells, who was a junior at Iowa State, and Doug Campbell, who is over 2 decades of experience with graphic design for national, international publications.
So this is really, really neat, like the behind the scenes footage you're giving us all today of how to put a board game together. When you woke up that Saturday morning thinking, let's do a board game, did you have any idea it would be this much work to get this board game that people just take for granted and grab on the store shelves or grab at Amazon? Did you know it was going to be that much work, or was it less work than what you thought?
Oh, Tina, it was so much more work than we could have possibly imagined. In fact, during the process, at the beginning of the process, I purposely did not want to know how much work would be involved with it, because I was afraid, I think legitimately so, that we would be scared off from this. This was the biggest project we've ever done in our life, before and after and since. It's a continuous project now, from the design to pulling the team together, to pulling the resources together, to finding a company that could print it, all the steps and the processes and the missteps along the way. I think to go into this, you purposely have to just have faith.
So you have two teens, correct? 16, 14?
17 and 14, yes. My son just had a birthday.
Oh, that's amazing. So did they help you in the process of creating this board game? And if so, what did they do?
Yes, they were involved with a lot of play testing. When we created the prototype, almost every single week, we would have a different group of people over, kids, families,
Awesome.
giving prototypes to other people to play on their own. And basically, the game works best with families, with kids involved. They tend to be much more expressive, much more animated, very excited. The game is designed for families. And so our kids were absolutely integral, critically important to fleshing out the game and making it something fun, as opposed to just something that's not.
See, I really love this for so many different reasons. Our whole team at Counterculture Ministries here, we want to make sure that if kids are on tech gadgets, it's safe. Video games, that they're uplifting video games, not full of suicide, sex, drugs, and all the rest. And at the same time, incorporate family, like bringing the family members together. And your board game does that. But not only that, you take it to a whole new level. By having a bunch of kids come over and testing this over the course of the last year or 2 or 3 or 4 years since 2018, you've had a chance to get other kids off tech gadgets, working together to use their brain that God gave them to make a difference and come up with ideas and concepts. I mean, you could have created more kids in that room that could be running different companies and creating other board games as a result. So that the fact that we're diving deep on the process of the board games is not only for people to understand how awesome it is, because it is, it's for you watching right now to think about, do my kids have a gifting with design, coming up with phrases? Can they come up with a concept for their own board game? Can our family do this? That's what we want as families, to get together, come up with a concept and see it on a store shelf and see it changing other families' lives. You're doing that. You got to experience that. So it's just neat that it's not just something quick and simple that you did. It was a process that drew your family members closer together. At least I'm assuming that. Is that what happened? There might have been a couple fights here and there.
Oh, well, yeah, there definitely was not a smooth process, but you're absolutely right. And you make a great point that I'm glad you reminded me of, is this activity is a great activity for homeschooling, but not just homeschool kids, any family.
Yes.
And you're right. I've written a piece on this actually about, having your kids come up. It can be as simple as a card game, and card games are very easy to produce a finished product on. Board games are taking it to the next step, but having your kids come up with the idea, what will be the win condition? What mechanics will you use in the game? And letting them try things and play it as a family, letting them fail. If you're teaching something, it could be Bible, it could be math, it could be science. You could mix the concepts together. And an activity that a family could do, a homeschooling family, or just any family, a class at church, is come up with a game, come up with a concept, and then have the kids give ideas. And the important thing is, I think with adults, is we want to step in and we want to fix things before kids can see that things don't work. And there were a lot of things with our game that did not work until we figured out what does work. And our kids were definitely part of that process. Our daughter would say, this is not fun. This is not fun at all. And so things that we did to change the game, to make it more fun, to make it more interactive, definitely helped. And this game would not be as good as it is without the involvement every step of the way of our kids.
That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, we're going to be right back to talk more about some of the challenges you faced on top of what you just said while creating this game right after this.
The only way we can truly make America great again is by investing in America first. Cortez Wealth Management provides American-based investment opportunities so you can rest assured that your funds are supporting businesses that you value. Are your investments aligned with your beliefs? Are you unknowingly supporting Chinese companies? Do you know if you hold ESG investments? We will help you answer these critical questions and more. Our professionals provide a strategic planning process in our America First Retirement Plan that is uniquely tailored to meet your goals and objectives. With our competitive fees and personalized service, you will get the best possible protection and security on your investment while also supporting policies and products you believe in. Call Cortez Wealth Management now at 813-448-3446 or visit americafirstretirementplan.com and schedule an appointment with us today. That's americafirstretirementplan.com. Have peace of mind that when you retire, you will enjoy your golden years.
Hi, this is Kevin Sorbo, and I want to introduce you to Equipping the Persecuted and their important work in Nigeria. The mission of Equipping the Persecuted is, as the name states, to equip our brothers and sisters in any way that we can. People in Nigeria are suffering at the hand of terrorists for their faith in Jesus. Sadly, very little is being done to create a lasting solution. That's where we step in. Our goal is to protect, rebuild, and strengthen families in both body and spirit. We are prepared with the resources necessary to respond after an attack. We provide medical aid, food, and a team to pray and comfort victims. Our persecuted brothers and sisters need your help. Take action today with a monthly gift of $20 or more at equippingthepersecuted.org. That's equippingthepersecuted.org. Thank you for your time.
The Counterculture Ministries team put our heads together and created the Pop Culture Purge Tour. This event can be half a day, full day, or 2-day event loaded with eye-opening, life-changing speakers who have survived or experienced some of the most wild situations in life and are on fire to share their stories. We have people on our speaking team talking about the satanic symbolism, sexual abuse, and sex trafficking, the public school pipeline to Planned Parenthood. That one's a showstopper. A gifted singer-songwriter who has a workshop entitled From Me to Christ in Me. A former news anchor reporter talking about mainstream media madness. Another woman who's a mother of 9 and business owner talking about the education indoctrination. An ex-alcoholic and people pleaser, my dear husband, who's talking about identity crisis. A former homosexual, now pastor. A pro-life activist giving her abortion reversal success story. And so much more. If you want more info on this life-saving tour, text the word tour to the number 55444. Once again, tour to the number 55444 to get info on all the different speakers that are available and contact Christy on our team to book an event in your city, town, or backwoods. We've been all over the place, from schools to prisons to cruise ships. Let's do this. All right, Derek, you've given us a lot of great tips on how this has drawn your family closer together, not just while playing it and how it's going to help other families, but the fact that you guys were all creative together. And I love the fact that you talked about bringing other neighborhood kids over and testing it with other kids. That's helping your kids basically just get used to hanging out with other kids with a creative concept, not just playing a video game or drawing a picture. You're creating an entire board game with this. So you're letting them be creative. Quick question here. What makes True Frenemies unique or interesting, and why should we consider buying it?
So there's a number of different things that I think help the game a lot. When we designed the game, our first number one important criteria was not that it be a Christian game, not that it be a Bible game. We wanted it to be a fun game. And so number one is it had to be fun, or else it wasn't going to go anywhere. So we worked on that. The second thing is a lot of Bible and Christian games that are great games that are out there are Christian versions of other popular games.
Right.
But what we wanted True Frenemies to be was something unique, something that you couldn't point to another game and say, this is a Christian version of whatever, fill in the blank.
Right.
So that was the second thing. The third thing is that we wanted the game to be absolutely the highest quality possible in every aspect. And so if you open up the box and you look at our game board, Chris Wells, our digital artist, hit the ball out of the park, literally with the artwork on the board. I think it's as good and better than anything that is out there. But all those things are great. But specifically, what I think sets the game apart, what makes it unique, is the win condition with the game. And what I mean by that is you have an endpoint. It's a simple roll and move game. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to get up and going. That was another thing important to us, is we didn't want somebody to have to read for an hour through the rules to get going. Right. Families have to move quick. So what we did is the win condition is you have to get to the tree of life. But the condition is it's not only yourself, but you have to assist another player to get there through a roll and move type concept. But the key is you can't reveal to anyone, including the player that you're trying to help, that you're trying to help them. So you have a secret friend that you need to get to the tree of life. Your secret friend may have someone else that they're trying to help. And so you're trying to help this person, but this person may be moving you back every step of the way and working against you, even as they're trying to help someone else who is that likewise working against them. And so the strategy in the game kind of sneaks up on you. At first, you think it's kind of fun and interactive. And towards the end of the game, it's always, you're trying to time it so you're helping someone else reach the tree of life. You want them to reach there before you do. So it's a lot of strategy in that way. So every time it's your turn to move, you can either move yourself forward, another player forward, or another player back. So you're trying to move somebody else forward without giving away who you're trying to help. The person that you're trying to help may be moving you back. You have to continue helping that person anyway. So it's the concept of forgiveness, forgiving 70 times 7, as Jesus said.
I was just going to ask you that. The neat thing is about your game, the concept, it sounds to me like everybody's helping each other out or trying to help each other out. And it's not focused on myself, but I'm focusing on someone else. Besides forgiveness, what other morals, biblical characteristics does this game teach us as parents and our kids?
Well, there's a lot. The game has a Bible says cards in the game, which you can call it a question and answer, a trivia element to the game. Those are taken literally from the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the teachings of Jesus. Those are plug and play. So as a homeschooling family or a teacher, if you're covering another topic, the teachings of Paul, the prophets from the Old Testament, Genesis, whatever it may be. I grew up playing Bible Bowl when I was in middle school and high school, where you have various topics every year and you're quizzed by it. When I was a kid, I hated Bible Bowl. I hated just studying questions. And this is a way to integrate questions, integrate material in a unique way, a different way, to make the kids excited about it and want to learn those topics while playing a game. And so the most universal teachings I feel in the Bible are the teachings of Jesus. Yeah. And so that's what we have out of the box. But literally you can have other, you can plug and play, make your own questions. An activity as a family is you could make your own questions and then play the game with those. We also have sin takes cards, and that's purposely, putting those two words together. Sin takes so much from us. Yes. And the sin takes cards, when you land on a sin takes space, there's a benefit. So when you sin, oftentimes you'll have a short-term benefit from engaging in that activity. But then in the game, you keep those sin takes cards. And every time someone else lands on a sin takes space, you have a consequence, a cost from that. So a strategy some people follow is they want to land on sin takes and cause everyone else to have a consequence. What they may not realize is that once they land on that, they're stuck with the sin takes until they get the baptize token at the end.
Well, look at this. We're weaving all of that in there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So we have, submission steps, hear, believe, repent, confess, and baptize, which are all teachings from the New Testament and the entire, Jesus teachings as well as the New Testament. And so we try to weave a lot in sin, We have say a little prayer cards, which sometimes work out okay. Sometimes they don't work out the way that you intend.
You're saying that a person cannot win unless they bring their friend with them to the tree of life, correct?
That is correct.
That's the key concept of the entire game, because if I was playing against my 4 munchkins and my husband, I would try to cream them all to get to the tree of life. But then I don't win if I don't bring my friend with me. That's what you're saying, correct?
That's right.
Okay, this is going to be a challenging game for Counterculture Mom. I like a challenge. That's why this is going to be a challenging game. Bring someone with me.
With all of the recent changes in the political and financial markets, there has never been a better time than right now to invest in silver and gold. When governments simply print billions of dollars in paper money in hopes of solving financial shortfalls, you know that it is time to buy and hold assets of true and lasting value. Free information is available to you right now by calling 888-747-3309. Whether you are a new investor or you're interested in preserving the value of your retirement accounts, we make it easy for you to make smart decisions for your financial future. The specialists at Cornerstone are here to serve you, work to satisfy your retirement goals, and communicate with respect. Call us right now at 888-747-3309. That's 888-747-3309. Or visit us online at cornerstoneassetmetals.com. That's cornerstoneassetmetals.com.
The public education system is a burning building, but our children don't have to be trapped in the flames of anti-God, anti-American, and anti-freedom agendas. Rescue your children today. My Father's World can help. With a Bible-centered complete curriculum for preschool through high school, My Father's World returns the focus to God, family, community, and patriotism. Join the nearly 250,000 families who have already escaped public education through homeschooling. My Father's World can also help you bring real education reform to your community with a micro school or Christian school. Visit mfwbooks.com/Fortina or scan the QR code for more information and get your special offer. That's mfwbooks.com/4Tina for homeschool, micro school, and preschool. My Father's World is your solution.
Derek, I know from watching this episode today, you're going to have a lot of people in the crowd saying, I want to make a board game. Tell me how to do that. So we need some dirt on creating board game gurus. You wrote an article that's on shuffledinc.com. It says, do you want to build a board game? And you went through in detail a couple years ago when you went through this process about True Frenemies and how it came to be. You have build your team, what sets your game apart, choose a game maker, very detailed information. That just looks absolutely stunning. And believe in your game and yourself, and then where people can purchase it. Fantastic article. I just want to let people know that you can go to counterculturemom.com, watch this episode right here, and surrounding this episode with Derek White today, you'll see a resource page and all the links surrounding the episode. Click on it, and you'll be able to read this fantastic article, once again, called Do You Want to Build a Board Game? Derek, thank you for that info, because it really will inspire a lot of people to want to do the same thing. And that's what we want, to have families working together, using their brains and gifts, and glory to God here. Can you tell us before we let you go, because I'm dying to go play this board game right here. My kids are screaming they want to rip it apart. So thank you for sending it to us in the mail. I told them don't touch because I don't want any pieces missing until I have a chance to get you on live. What are some of the key benefits of playing board games with family and friends?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, I think like every family, our kids are into computer games and their phones. And so board games are a way to basically bring everybody together and to interact together. And that's why, you know, board games of all types, not just Christian board games, they're becoming extremely popular. The growth rate is between 7 and 10% each year in terms of the board game industry, because families, not just families, friends, 20-somethings, teenagers are realizing that, you know, that's how you have face-to-face interaction.
Yep.
You had a story a few episodes ago about grandparents and grandparents getting involved with their kids. Board games are perfect for that.
Just head over to Derek's website to get this baby today. This is a perfect Christmas gift for your kids as well. Give it to them as a gift. Grandparents, give this to your grandkids. You can find this game at mount21.com. That's mount21.com. Once again, go to Derek's website, grab this game, Amazon, all over the place, mount21.com. Derek, thank you so much. Everybody tuning in. Watch all 4 episodes this week about Thanksgiving, what it means to be a close-knit family, how God designed it all to be during this holiday season. Just go to counterculturemom.com, click on Watch Show tab at the top of the page. Watch all 4 episodes. It's going to be a fantastic series. Thank you so much. Everybody out there, have a great Thanksgiving, Christmas season, and we'll see you here next week on another episode of the Counterculture Mom Show. Derek, you rock. Keep at it.
Thank you.